Hey guys, thank you for visiting the channel and taking the time to watch this video. Now let's get into it. So we have a new report coming out straight from the Metro. Scientists find remains of baby planets swallowed by Jupiter. Yeah, it's plural as in planets, more than one. And this is a very interesting article and I wanted to present this to you guys. So let's all get into it together. Scientists have found that Jupiter's insides are made up of the remains of baby planets that the gas giant once gobbled up. The findings come from the first clear view beneath the planet's cloudy outer atmosphere. Yes, well, as we all know, Jupiter is categorized as a gas giant. So, with different elements of gases in the air, it's kind of really hard for us to really seep down into the atmosphere of Jupiter and see what's really underneath it. So, yeah, just give you a little bit of context. Very little is known about the large planet in the solar system, as telescopes have only been able to capture swirling vortex clouds in the gas giant's upper atmosphere, block the view of what's below, like I just said prior to all the gases that's in the atmosphere of Jupiter. In a new study, researchers were finally able to see past Jupiter's gas curtain using gravitational data collected by NASA's Juno space probe, which I'll show you guys a photo of. It's down in the article. This data enabled the team to map out the rocky material at the core of the giant planet, which revealed a surprisingly high abundance of heavy elements, suggesting that Jupiter devoured baby planets or planetism to grow to its current size. And right here is a picture of Jupiter, courtesies of NASA, of course. And a quick note, real quick, that I wanted to actually insert about Jupiter. As we know, due to Jupiter's large size, it has a very strong gravitational pull, which actually protects Earth due to this. So from outside sources like comets and asteroids that come from out of the solar system and actually come towards our way, due to Jupiter's massive size, it actually pulls all these other debris into its inner core. So just a thing that people push away from Jupiter and how important it is that we have this planet in our solar system. So let's continue with the article. Jupiter started its life with the planet's gravity pulling in rocks and gas from far distances. This was predominantly hydrogen and helium left over from the sun's birth, which made up its enormous gas-filled atmosphere. So this is what contributed to Jupiter's massive size, and why there's so much predominantly helium and hydrogen on this planet, due to it absorbing some of its elements from the sun. The findings from the study support a proposed theory that Jupiter's core was formed from the absorption of many planetesimal, large-scale rocks spanning several miles. These space rocks, if left undisturbed, could have potentially developed into rocky planets like Earth or Mars. Now let's take a step back here. Now think of our Milky Way galaxy just being in high abundance of all these planets, but due to Jupiter's early formation, it actually just absorbed all these other planets that was still forming, baby planets, if you would say so, just trying to form, but getting stuck into Jupiter's gravitational pull because of being how massive it was. It was a recipe for disaster, I would say, for these planets. So, because we cannot directly observe how Jupiter was formed, we have to put the pieces together. With the information we have today, the study's lead researcher, Jamili Mughal, told Live Science, "Here on Earth, we use seismographs to study the interior of the planet using earthquakes," Mughal said. "But since Jupiter has no surface to put such devices into," I'm sorry guys, the researchers built computer models of Jupiter's insides by combining data collected by probes such as Juno and Galileo. So here's another picture right here, courtesy of the Science Photo Libra. The probes measured on the planet's gravitational field at different points around its orbit. This data enabled the team to map out slight variations in the planet's gravity, which helped them to see where the rocky material is located within the planet. Juno provided very accurate gravity data that helped us to constrain the distribution of the material in Jupiter's interior, Miguel said. The researchers' model revealed that there is an equivalent of between, now listen to this, guys, listen to this, of between 11 and 30 Earth masses of heavy metals within Jupiter, contributing to 3 to 9% of Jupiter's mass. Like what? 11 to 30 Earth masses, which is more than expected. And like for this, after they come to the consumption of this, all they can come out was that only Jupiter gobbling smaller planets explain such a high concentration of heavy elements, Miguel said. So this is really interesting, and now we have like a little better insight of the formation of Jupiter, this gas giant, because we know about Saturn and Uranus, also Uranus, my bad, being gas planets also. It could maybe see an insight of how they were formed, but it's very interesting. And when I think about this, it's just like, what else do I don't know about Jupiter? So I did a little more research on it real quick, less than 5 minutes, I promise you, less than 5 minutes. And I actually didn't notice that Jupiter actually has rings like Saturn. Yeah, this is news to you too. This is news to me. I've never learned this, but wait till you see this. Let's start here. The planet Jupiter has a system of faint planetary rings. The Jovian rings were the third ring system to be discovered in the solar system, after those of Saturn and Uranus. The main ring was discovered in 1979 by the Voyager 1 space probe, and the system was more thoroughly investigated in the 1990s by the Galileo orbiter. The main ring has also been observed by the Hubble Space Telescope, which I need to bring more focus into that telescope too. I feel like now with the new one, it doesn't get that much glamour, but I'll be sure to do more videos on that. I got one actually coming up in the works, actually. And from the Earth for several years, ground-based observation of the rings requires the largest available telescopes. That's one thing about these rings. It's actually kind of faint, so they had to use certain instruments to see it, which you'll see here. The Jovian ring system is faint and consists mainly of dust. It has four main components: a thick inner torus of particles known as the halo ring, a relatively bright, exceptionally thin main ring, and two wide, thick, and faint outer gossamer rings, named for the moons of whose material they are composed, Amalthea and Thebe. And just to move over here, look at this. Yeah, guys, Jupiter actually has documented rings. Now, I went to school and I've never heard about this. And they said that they found this in 1979 and better evidence in the 1990s. But are our kids being learned this in school? I mean, it's just me, but hey. Anyway, just to continue on. The main and halo rings consist of dust ejected from the moon's Metis and Adrastea, and perhaps smaller unobserved bodies as a result of high-velocity impacts. High-resolution images obtained in February and March 2007, more updated, by the New Horizons spacecraft revealed a rich, fine structure in the main ring. But yeah, guys, I mean, like, just look at it. I mean, this is news to me. I've never seen this, and it's one thing I told you guys. When I learn something, you guys learn something. I'm not going to be one of these YouTubers out here just trying to like lollygag and say like, oh yeah, I been knew this. No, like this is really news to me. So you guys are on a journey as I am. We'll be on this journey together. But yeah, very interesting, very interesting. I swear we're learning things every day about the universe and even on this planet Earth. But yeah, so just wanted to give you guys that quick tidbit on finding out that article in Metro about Jupiter and how its early formation and how small Earth-like planets contributed to Jupiter's large scale size. But yeah, once again, thank you guys for visiting the channel and watching this video. Please check out the other videos that I have. I got book reviews, more articles are on the way. But once again, stay blessed, guys. Love you all. And let's get on this journey together. All right, guys. Peace.